Hello all, welcome to Ambari Cloud YouTube channel, part of Ambari Cloud LLM training. Today in this video, I'm going to walk through PG Vector, how to store your embeddings in Postgres vector store. In the previous video, I did the demonstration about LVS, and now in this, I'm going to talk about Postgres. Postgres in more often in a lot of on-prem clients, they use Postgres as their database for many of their production systems. And we can reuse the same Postgres database where you can add a PG vector extension, then we can use it for storing the embeddings. And it has the built-in all the features of indexing and then similarity sets and all the stuff. Okay. So very quick, before we go into very quick overview, okay, we're going to load the files, right? And then we're going to split into pages and then chunks, then we're going to embed it, and then we're going to store it into vector store. Okay. So that is again common theme for how to store documents in vector. Okay. So before we start, make sure that you install PG vector and then related, we're going to talk about, then of course, maybe here, store the Postgres, make sure that, you have fully installed that one. Okay. And so let's set up your key, right? Then we'll set up our libraries here. Then we're going to set up the embedding. Then we're going to read the files, same as in what we did in other videos. And we're going to split it. Then we're going to have a documents, and then finally we have a docs here. Okay. Then here, remember in the previous LVS, right, vector store, we're going to use PG vector. So this is vector store extension, PG vector. And we're going to have a PG vector library similar to LVS here. Okay, so it's the same, but here we have to add extension .pg vector and PG vector here. Now we have the documents ready, right? How many documents? We have 11 documents. We're going to split it. Then this is my Docker PG vector container, and you're going to download and then run the container. So here I'm going to show a Docker container. I have a PG vector is running, and it's part of Postgres, right? And so we are good to go on that one. Then we want to do very quickly log into Postgres. Okay, so you're going to do a Docker exe et. Okay, and then what is my image name here? This is my image name. And then we're going to copy here, then run the bash. Okay, so you will get inside of the Docker. And then you want to log into your PostgreSQL, then user is, the long chain user here. If you do Postgres user long chain, then I'm going to do user PLSQL, then PSQL, then we are in. And then you want to see what databases it has, and then, by default, you will get long chain, Postgres, and these are the databases. So long chain is database here, and so then we will look at as we are progressing further. Okay, what is a connection string? Then you're going to use a long chain user ID password. Then database is long chain here and connecting the 6024, and this is the JDBC protocol here. Okay. So then again, if you have in the production system, you will have your user ID password. Then if you want to create you can create your own database, and then what is our database name, and then user ID. So you can set up your own string. Okay. That's productionally, we do that. Okay. So then I'm going to create a invoice, new, right? And, then remember, when we are doing the LVS, then the LVS.from documents, instead of that we're going to use PG vector from document. That's the only change, right? You have your embeddings, your documents, your collection name, your collection string, and then you're going to run that one. So then you will build your database. So here PG database here, right? Similarly, we did the LVS database. So same concept. And then we already have a split documents, and we know the embedding here. Then we're going to run it. Okay. And so it's going to create a collection, right? Now let's go and see the database, right? Let's go here, check the tables, right? I'm already in the long chain database. And then part of then you might have all other tables in our production system, right? And this is for only embedding. And then, so let's assume we have a database name called long chain to store them. Then as soon as you execute your the index or collection, then it's going to create two tables, and one is PG collection and another one is PG embedding, right? So let's describe the table, right? And I'm going to very quickly, right? So the embeddings table, right? Collection ID, then it shows the vector, right? Similarly, what we saw in MLVS, we ran the query, then we look at the vectors here. But the data is stored in the tabular format for us. Then you can see embeddings here. Then if you execute summary select statement, then you can see the data. Then we will look at that one. Okay. Then let's do this, right? Define the collections, right? And find out what collections we have. Now, if you look at here, the collection table name and then UID and see metadata. So let's run select star from collections, right? Now, if you see it has two collections. One is invoices previously created, then invoices new, and it has its own ID, right? And this ID matches the collection ID in this table. Then you can make a join and then here. So here, let's go to here, invoices new, right? Invoices new. I created a simple SQL here, and then, join with the embedding table and collection table, okay, for a given invoice, give me the values and then run this select statement here. Then you will see this is the collection ID for your invoices. Right, invoice is new, right? This is new, and these are so let's run, instead of 2, let's run 10, right? Now look at right? So remember when we create a document object, it has a source and basically called metadata. Here we call source, and then you have a content. Then of course you can also see the content in the document, right? We'll show that one, and then or you can show you can show the metadata. This is the file names. Okay, so let's try the not metadata. Let's look at the document, right? For example, here, let's take the document and run documents. Basically, what the Postgres is storing your document, and whatever the chunk you are doing here, the chunk document, right? And then the page and the file name, and of course vectors. Let's run the document here. And so now if you see here, this is my document, then it has the file, this belongs to this file. Look at this one, this file has two chunks, right? Then you can see that. So now advantage of Postgres, is a database, SQL. Now you are seeing the vectors in a SQL. Let's try showing the vector, right? For your embeddings, right? Let's show that one embeddings here instead of, I'm going to show only one. Okay, embeddings are numbers. We can't see quickly here because it's in the data type is in a vector format. Okay, so two tables. Every time when you create a new collection, then it will have a collection name in the table. Then similarly, when you get a new files, right? Now you look at this one here. Now let's say you want to delete this file, you can come and delete manually as a database. You can write a simple select statement, delete. So you don't need to write another others, and simply delete this, source, source collection ID equal to this and source equal to this. You can delete these values and then, you can clean up, right? Then you can add the files again. So similarly, then you rerun this and here, where is that one? You execute this, you can get your values back. Then, of course, you can run. Once you're done, you will do a similarity search here. Okay. So now, ran. What did the person say about, right? Let's say we added the invoices, right? Show me. Okay. Okay. Right. In some of the invoices, Bob work here and all the stuff. Then again, even though this has, you can see the score and then all the stuff, right? Now, let's say this is a backend, right? People who are loading the data, then basically you're going to use the from documents, you're going to start loading it. But then, the application team simply instantiate the collection, then you have the store, then come here, store, then simply here, where is my similarity search of the query, and then you can do that. Let's run that. Okay, same thing, we got the documents. So you remember here I'm showing this one in a loop here, but everything is documents, right? Because we are using long chain here, right? So long chain is converts the data into documents, and then we have the data. This is my invoice, this invoice. Now look at this one in the similarity set. I got the data also from another document, but once we sent all these to LLM, right? Definitely LLM ignores this guy. Right, and you're asking, show me the invoices of Satya and Ravi Gurram, then there's no invoices here, then it will return. But if you give Krishna and Bob, right, okay, let's try that. Okay, and then, now if you look at it is only invoices, right? So so this way now if you look at all the invoices of Krishna and Bob here, right? And then if you want to know invoices of if you look at April 22, right? Let's try that one. Only Krishna invoices April 22. Okay. But then because they're all right, it is not the exact set, right? The embedding sets. Now once we send this one to LLM, then we are asking for April 2022. Only these values will be returned. Right. Now, if you look at these, when you send along with the metadata, and these are same chunks, right, because of the overlapping, and then you will get a final answer when you go. So we will extend this one into our RAG. We're going to use the same Milvus and same Postgres examples, and we're going to use this store part of our RAG. We're going to retrieve it, and then we will send these documents to your LLM, then we will finally get the answer. That's what we're going to do in the previous coming videos. So yeah, practice Postgres definitely one. And then another advantage when you're practicing Postgres, you're also learning Postgres, right? So, practicing Postgres vector store, along with that, then, you will be learning how to query the tables and in Postgres, and then you will be learning, you're also learning some Docker, and then, stuff like that. So, you're in the Postgres model, right? You're learning along with the database and also your vector store. Milvus knowledge, again, same queries and all the stuff, but once you learn with long chain framework, it's easy to build. So focus on how to start your Docker, how to log into Docker, how to query the tables, what are the tables. Then I suggest you create your own database here, and then you can create users and passwords. And when you do Docker setup, then try different documents here, reading the different documents, practice more. That way, then you will have more knowledge of once we're getting ready to vector store. Getting ready into your RAG and eventually going to agentic. So remember, OpenAI, Python, long chain. You're gonna be Open Long Pi developer, right? So keep learning. Thank you. And any questions, reach out to me, skondapalli@ambaricloud.com. Thank you.